And you are getting my emails. Hello, Sober on Purpose family. Thank you so much for being here today. I have a fabulous return guest, and he is also part of the bonus for the Blessed Family Recovery Summit. This is Daniel Packard, who I really took the task last time because he said he could solve anxiety. And I know that is something that a lot of folks who are especially as we're coming into the holidays, getting back with our families, holiday stress, we have this perfectionism thing going on. So Daniel, give us some juicy pieces of wisdom as you have some new things for us and some new thoughts for us. So give us some ideas of what's going on.
Well, I will, and it's a good point that you raised about it being the holidays and New Year's. It's a time when people struggle a lot. And, your listeners are savvy people, meaning they know a lot of personal development, spirituality, therapy. I mean, if they follow you, this isn't their first rodeo. I have a feeling this is not the first Christmas that your audience has maybe felt some stress or anxiety. But your audience has usually what most people were given, what I was given when I had bad anxiety, which was you have insights and tips and tools and strategies to manage it. And, that's better than nothing. If your boat is sinking and somebody says, here, take this bucket, and you bail it, it is better than sinking and drowning and dying to sharks, no doubt. And if that's all you got, great. But when I was struggling with stress and anxiety after a horrible relationship that I stayed in way too long, I spent $100,000 in 10 years on therapy, psychology, I mean, you name it, I did it. I was probably in a cult. I was definitely in a cult. And, helped me manage it. Still anxious. And just to sort of disrupt the mental health industry, me being a mechanical engineer, I said, could we solve this? I don't know, but engineers are good at problem solving. So spoiler alert, we solved it. We have a 6-week online program that solves it at 90% success rate. And when people work with us, you don't pay at the beginning. You only pay at the end when you get results, because I'm an engineer and results matter. And when you're in pain, results matter. So how does this relate to your audience? Your audience already has management tools, but you're about to come into the holidays and it's going to get even more stressful. And yeah, you can manage it, but you want to be fully present for the holidays. You want to be fully present for your family and your kids. It's a holiday and you want to express and feel. And when you're anxious, you can't. And so I want to give a perspective to your audience so that they could be free of this, so they can really enjoy the holidays. And this is really on my mind because my client from last year, Amanda, loves Christmas, loves family. And poor thing, could not travel, couldn't be around extended family. And not only was she anxious, but she was just sad because she just loved family. She loved the holidays. And she came to me and she said, I'm just missing out. Can you help me? I've tried everything. Can you help? I heard what you do. And we got her squared away around week 5. She got to spend more time with her relatives. She started traveling again. And she sends me occasional messages from the holidays and birthdays. She's like, thank you. Thank you for giving me my family back. So if you're interested to understand how to have your anxiety be gone so you can really enjoy your family and the holidays, that's what we're about. And that's what I'm going to share with you now.
Awesome. Because there's so much to love, but we set up all these expectations. And then, I've personally been guilty of this, okay, if I can't have it the way that I need to have it, then it's just not going to be right. And I don't want to participate. So talk to us about how to lessen that anxiety.
Excellent question, because when you have anxiety, it shows up in different severities with people. Some of our clients, they're just knocked out. They're not leaving the house. When I had it, I was in the fetal position, just in terror. I wasn't even saying, oh, I hope I can make that glazed ham better. There was no glazed ham. I was eating oatmeal on the floor of my bungalow. Now, what you're talking about is, okay, I want to do this. I want to show up and enjoy life more. But if I do it, it's going to make me anxious. And then you start to hide. And that's one of the costs of anxiety, is even if you can push through it, you're pulling back. You're not fully enjoying it, fully showing up. So I'm going to answer your question. But also, everything I share, most people hear it and they say, Daniel, this sounds good, but it sounds too good to be true. And I don't believe it. And if they don't believe we can help them, we can't help them, which is the whole reason I help people. So I learned it's not enough to just tell people what's possible when they're so skeptical. You have to give them an experience. Could this really work, and could it work for me? Because so much stuff for anxiety doesn't work that well, and your audience probably thinks this won't. So at the end, I'm going to give you this incredible gift that is a training, and it teaches you a technique that you can apply and actually feel our process working in your system already, so that not only you can see this work, but you know it'll work for you. So as I'm talking, you're like, Daniel, prove it to me. At the end, free gift you can get at my website, danielpackard.com, to really feel this working in your body already. So to answer your question, what do people do that are sort of holding back or saying, oh, I don't know what to do?
What do they do?
All right, well, I'm conflicted. When you ask that question, usually people are asking, can you tell me the tip or the strategy to make this less horrible? You know, I'm going into this situation and I need a strategy. Like, what can I do? And it's a good question. Again, it's like my boat is sinking. I'd like it to sink less. What can I do? And on the one hand, I get why you asked that, but the problem is that is the problem. And the problem is that is what the mental health community, the spiritual community, the personal development community has been peddling for the last 100 years, which is tips and tools to kind of manage it in the moment. And I'm trying to disrupt that and say, no more tips and tools, no more buckets to slow down the sinking. Okay, if you're drowning, nobody says, hey, could you give me some tips? Just give me some tips so I could get less water in my lungs, please. If you're drowning in the ocean, you're like,
they didn't say that on the Titanic. Could you give me a few tips on what to do, because this whole big ship has hit an iceberg and I just need some thought processes on how to do this. That wasn't what she was singing about out there on the mast or anything.
Yeah, nobody has been, choking and been like, hey, is this a scarcity mindset? Something horrible is happening. And I don't think anybody on the Titanic said, you know what, it's a good time to start manifesting or vision boarding. So that's great. It helps. People want solutions, man. They're in pain. They're missing out on life. They need real results. And I'm an engineer. We love results. So I don't give people the little shiny thing that they've already been ingesting. Not because there's not value in it, but because that doesn't really give them back their lives. And I'm trying to disrupt this whole idea of tips and tools to manage. I'm trying to awaken people to the possibility to be free of this once and for all. Now that sounds good, but like, Daniel, how do we do this? That sounds great. I don't want to be, bailing my boat for the rest of my life. It's exhausting. So what they do is to really understand that it's possible. What I've learned is I've gone all over the world telling people how to solve anxiety, and we help some people, but not nearly as much as I thought. And it's because people it just goes by them. Their experience has been poor. They've been managing it their whole life. That's what the experts tell them. And when you've had it so long, you feel broken. And so if you tell someone, hey, we can clear this up, it's just they can't hear it. They're conditioned to think it's not going to work. So I try to first show people why it's possible, to give them a reframe of why this is even possible. So it'll create an opening and create some hope. Once there's some hope, then yeah, maybe someone's open to a solution. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, because what we tend to think is, this has always been, my mother dealt with it, my grandmother dealt with it. It's like Mama said there would be days like this, right? You want me to sing? Mama said there'll be days like this. And we just accept it instead of saying, gosh, there might be a way to completely go around this. And even biblically, it says to think on what is things that are good and noble and true, and not to spend your time over here that, today's worries are enough. We don't need to go into the future to find other things to deal with. So you are right on target. Thank you.
Now, it sounds good, and it doesn't take me to say, oh, wouldn't it be better if we had permanent solutions? People are either experientially or anecdotally aware that this industry, mental health, is $1 trillion a year globally. $1 trillion. And as your listeners know, that's not getting people permanent results. That's not the problem. Again, the problem is we accept it. You don't accept this in other. Yeah, I spent $100,000 on all this stuff. I didn't feel a noticeable improvement. And I thought I was doing great. I was like, yeah, but I'm learning about it. I have this new understanding, thinking that that was valuable. Now it's better than nothing. There is a value in helping people understand. But let's get people to results. If you had a garden and you spent $100,000 and you came back and the garden looked the same, you would have a problem with that. But people don't have a problem with it. They'll spend lots of money and not have a problem with it. And I want people to have a problem with it. Now, the reason they don't have a problem with it, that's the best there is. So I want to raise people's expectations and say, let's get you results. That's what we're about, and that's what you deserve, because that's what really makes your life better.
That's exactly what I want, because I want to go to holiday celebrations, to parties, to those types of things, and not worry about, oh, am I showing up okay? Is there going to be an argument? If there is an argument, can I defuse it? If something happens, do I have the tools to manage that? You know, I don't want to be validated by, I brought the right dessert and so everybody likes me now. I want to be me.
Of course you do. And the fact that you have tried as many things as you have, know as much as what you do, and applied it for as long as you have, and you still have this, and that's still considered acceptable. And it's like, really? It shouldn't be. But it is, because that's what this industry primarily shares. And I don't want to diminish people who help people. There's value in it. It's just a question of, what do we tolerate and what do we accept? I just heard this. I don't know if this is true. Well, I was told by a therapist. I was telling her about results. And she said that when she was being trained to be a therapist, they were told in the school, a third of the people you work with, you'll help. A third, you won't help. And a third will get worse. And I went, okay, what? Now, that's not the problem. If all you can do, if that's your results, that's your results. The issue is, nobody had a problem with that. Nobody jumped up from the school and said, wait a minute, this is not acceptable results. What are we doing here? Let's get out of here. That's the issue. I went to engineering school. If I was in a class and someone said, okay, we'll be training you to build bridges, a third will work, a third are too expensive, they'll never be built, and a third will collapse, killing thousands, I wouldn't sit there and be like, tell me more. I would be like, are you kidding me? This is not acceptable. So people sometimes say, how did we figure this out? Because we didn't tolerate these results. I'm an engineer. We like things to work. It is our passion. And that's why we solved it when other well-intentioned people didn't, because well-intentions doesn't solve things sometimes. Now, also what you said was, give me something to manage it. And even in your language, it was like, give me something to manage it. You're still in the pathology of management. If you were constantly choking and you were like, Daniel, do you have any choking techniques? Or I keep choking. Could you help me manage the choking? You wouldn't accept that. You would be like, no, can you solve this? And we can. There's a Heimlich maneuver. There's mechanics and engineering, and you put the pressure on the stomach, forces air up. So even just the fact that what you were asking for was just management, it's sad. No more management, no more Band-Aids, just upgrades. Now, do you have anything to say on that?
So no, I have another functional medicine friend who's like, we don't have a healthcare system. We have a disease management system, which is exactly what you're talking about. That we're not looking for solutions. We're just saying, how do I manage cancer? How do I manage diabetes? How do I, there is this sense of cure, but I think we've become apathetic that we can actually get to a cure. And that's what you're bringing us, is something that's a cure. And I've got a comment on here that says, they say, save me. So I believe, comment again if I missed this, that you're walking into the situation, and instead of working internally for yourself, you're still projecting and trying to save the other person. And that's what you're working with, is that doesn't have to be done if you can be present.
Yes. And your audience knows this. I mean, they know there's a limitation to what's out there. They know this stuff isn't getting the job done. At the same time, when we went off to solve it, we solved it because we were engineers and we are trained problem solvers, and we're good at it. It was not easy. It took 8 years working with 3,000 people, over $1 million in research and development, and we're trained problem solvers, which is what you need. You need people who are really good at It's a certain skill set to break something down, A lot of people can look at a problem, and engineers are great at looking at a problem and actually finding a solution. Love him or leave him, that's what Elon Musk did. He was able to look at this electric car problem. People kind of knew the ozone was an issue. And he created this car company, which is incredible. He's doing rockets and all. That's an engineer. So people sometimes say, well, and I want your audience to know this, the reason you still have your anxiety is not because you're broken or doomed or trapped. It's because the people you trusted don't know how to and aren't incentivized to solve it. It's not their fault. They're doing the best they can, but that they make money and they're okay with it. And that's fine, but I'm not and you're not. Now, again, this sounds great. Talking a big game. Everyone's like, Daniel, this sounds great, but how? Will it work for me? Again, at the end, go to my website, get the free training so you can really feel what I'm talking about and feel this working for you already. But the reason this is possible is two reasons. One is we were engineers and we were like, we're good solvers and we test things and we optimize till something works. But what we discovered, which is the foundation of our program, is that anxiety is not a problem of the mind, but of the body. Now, why is that important? Well, because most people are told it's a problem of the mind. Agreed?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. If it's a problem of the mind, great. Tell people it's a problem of the mind. Now, if it's a problem of the mind, then that approach should get really, really good results. So based on just the data and based on what you're seeing in the world, based on how many people are anxious, how many people are addicted, how many people have mental health issues, the suicide rate, the fact that anxiety is on the rise, based on that data, does the anxiety is a problem of the mind theory get results?
No. And we got clarified on they would say, save me. And she's talking about the Titanic situation, which is applicable here too, because what they were asking for was to be bodily saved. And somebody like a psychologist and like a therapist have their place could have come in and said, okay, let's think and let's meditate and we'll all get off the boat together. And it's kind of what you're saying here is no, because your body is responding in a way that your mind is not connecting with until you take some tools and pull all that together. That's a string of analogies there, but what I'm hearing is we've got this response in the body, but we're looking for the answer up here. And until we look for the answer in the body, we're totally confused on how to solve this.
So both of those. What we saw is it's not a problem of the mind, it's in the body. So, and that's not a theory, that's what the data proved. When we started focusing just on the body, I was one of the early test cases. My anxiety started going down and down and down and just staying down. Staying down. That's how we knew we were on the right track. If you're at the actual root cause, you should see consistent improvement. When you focus on the mind, you get the constant up and downs, and that's because the mind is a symptom of the body. And so if you're at the symptom level, you're going to keep just having ups and downs, ups and down, ups and downs. So yes, just the fact that we went to the actual root cause location is why we were able to solve it, because we were in the right place. People say like, well, how did you guys figure it out? We went to the right place. Like, it's not that complicated. But here's why it's important. People are taught to approach mental health psychologically and spiritually. Now, there's nothing wrong with psychology and spirituality, but they're sort of vague and abstract. They're theories, right? Your mind is a question of your overactive ego. Okay. But like, what is the ego? Can I touch it? Can I weigh it? Can I sell an ego? No, it's a concept, an interesting concept, but a concept. Or that's spiritual, or psychological. Well, you're holding on to past emotions and you're in a scarcity mindset. You're catastrophizing into the future. Okay, maybe some truth to that, but it's psychological. It's a theory. It's a construct to help give you understanding. Agreed?
Well, let's bring this down to the holiday family dinner. Let's bring it down to something really concrete. So I'm walking into the holiday family dinner. I have a slight headache. My stomach is hurting. I'm feeling anxious. What would you begin to work with me on around those symptoms? What is my body telling me at that point?
Okay. So again, I always have to answer in two ways. There's nothing you can do in that moment. Why? Because what we discovered, what anxiety is that people were not trained to take care of the nervous system in their body. We aren't taught how. We're taught to brush and floss, get enough sleep, drink enough water. We're taught basic hygiene for a lot of the systems in the body. But anxiety is a nervous system issue. How do you know? Anxiety is just a fancy word for extra nervous. So we found if you're feeling extra nervous, odds are, what system? Nervous system. Makes sense, right?
Right.
Okay. So the reason that the nervous system is malfunctioning and making everybody extra nervous is because this has been building for a while. When systems
I've been worried
fail,
about this for a while. So
what?
I've been worried about this for a while. I know this, the holiday happens on this day every year. I've been worried about this for a while. What could I have done to prepare? We've still got a little bit of time.
Well, yes, you've been thinking about it for a while, but the issue has been building for a while. If you don't brush and floss, not right away, but several weeks, months, years later, eventually your teeth can get a cavity, and then even need a root canal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's been building for months, if not years. Agreed?
Agreed. Yes.
Okay, so now you've got these fragile teeth. So now you get to Christmas and you see something hard that you want to eat, and you know that those hard candies are going to make your teeth hurt. And you're sort of saying, Daniel, what can I do so my teeth hurt less when I eat these hard candies? It's like, it's too late. The issue is your teeth didn't get proper care for a very long time, and now they're in a state of failure and fragility, and you're feeling the pain of that fragile state. So do you see that if you need a root canal and you're eating hard candies and feeling pain, other than just not eating the candies, which is just symptom management, there's nothing you can do in that exact moment.
Got it. So what can I do? Because you know what? Christmas comes every year. I have these feelings every year. What can I do so that I don't spend 50, 60, 70 years having these feelings?
Two answers, and I could be biased. It's what our program does. Over 6 weeks, it heals your nervous system to make it strong. That's the answer. If you have a root canal, the thing you do is to understand you have a system failure issue that's been building for a while, and you go to experts who understand that system, how to repair the system, retrain the system, and then you maintain the system. That's what you do. That's what someone with a root canal does. They don't keep managing it. They go to experts who understand that system. So that's the long answer. And that's also why your audience has been stuck with this for so long. They didn't know it was a system failure issue, so they're still trying to do these like avoidance techniques to kind of make it less. You can, do certain tricks to numb your teeth a bit, but it's never going to fix the root cause problem. So first of all, to your listeners, if you've had anxiety for a very long time, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you, and this is not your fault. Unbeknownst to you, you have a system failure issue that needed a serious rebuild, but you've been primarily getting tips and tools just to manage things. But if you're managing your painful teeth, you're not repairing them. Now, we can help you with that. But short term, the training that I'm going to offer at danielpackard.com, which is, it's Christmas time. What do you think I'm going to charge for that?
It's going to be a gift.
It is.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, anxious people! I am the real Santa Claus, and I all know that you have all been doing the best you can. And I, Santa, want to put something in your psychological, emotional, nervous system stocking, which is a free technique to apply around the family so that you can quickly feel calmer, more present, and happy, and more able to enjoy Merry Christmas.
Hey, I had a question just pop up. Can I stop you right here and have you answer this question?
You can, but I just want to be appreciated because I'm Jewish, and that's a killer Santa impression.
It is. I can see the white beard. I can see the red hat. You just put on an extra 100 pounds right there. That was awesome. And this is all on your site. So we're 10 days out from the holiday. Well, it really kind of starts around the 23rd, a little short. This is all on there. there's not only this one, I've been on there, there's not only this one resource, but you have like 4 resources on there for free.
I did. And I changed it from 4 to 1 because I just want to help people. And I want to help people so much that sometimes I give them too much information and it kind of blows them out. So I got feedback. If you really want to help people, just give them one thing that'll give them a real impact. So now at the website, there's one resource, but it's the best one we have because you can truly... what you get is you truly understand what's making your nervous system anxious in a way you've never heard before. And it's going to open your eyes to where this is coming from. Not theoretically. You're going to feel it. You're going to think, oh, that's the root cause of my anxiety that nobody showed you, that your therapist, psychologist, guru, teacher, therapist never taught you. Not because they're bad. They just didn't know. And then you're going to understand the theory of how to repair your nervous system, not manage it, repair it back to strength. Then you're going to learn a technique that you're going to apply to your nervous system, and you are going to feel a level of calm that you probably haven't felt in a very, very, very long time. And you can use that technique for Christmas. However, under one condition, ask me that condition, and then I'll get to your question.
What is the condition, Daniel?
I don't like symptom management. I'm trying to disrupt this industry and get people a permanent solution. This technique, it's just one technique, and that doesn't solve it because you can't, it's a system issue. A dentist can't solve your entire tooth issue with just a drill. There's other tools and techniques. They need to understand it. So I'm giving you this tool and technique to show you what's possible, but I want to invite you, don't settle for symptom management. It's just to give you proof of concept of what's possible. So I'd like to ask, if you use this tool and technique and you're like, whoo, that really works, please, you can use it to manage things, but please, I invite you to be open to moving beyond management to full liberation.
To freedom. To freedom.
Yes.
In 2024. Let's make it happen. So the question is right along this line, and I think you'll like this one. When you are in a constant state of fight or flight, will your system, Daniel Packard, help everything or just the anxiety symptoms?
Such a good question. And the fact that this smart person, so this person, male or female, or in between, is asking that question from the understandable place, but the understandable place of confusion of what this whole problem is. So this person's asking a very legitimate question, and I know because I know the engineering of anxiety, and we solve it at a very high level, so I can say I know what's going on. Her question even has confusion baked in, and it's why people are struggling so much. They are so confused. So let me simplify it. When you don't take care of your nervous system, it is fragile. When something is fragile and you push on it, instead of pressure, you feel pain. Does that make sense?
So I'm pushing on a fragile system, just like your tooth. If I had one that was crumbling, if I pushed on it, then I would feel a lot of pain. I'd want to run from that pain.
Right. But depending on how hard the thing is and how hard you bite down, you will feel different levels of pain. Agreed?
Yeah, if I put hard candy in there, it would really hurt. Whereas if I ate pudding, I'd probably get past it and just swallow it.
Yeah. Or if you got in between, let's say hard candy, you feel pain, and you eat, I don't know, a carrot in the middle, and it hurts. So hurt is like mini pain. Agreed?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, we know this because we understand the body and we have words to describe these things. And we know they're just different versions of the same thing. You've got hurt, you have discomfort, you have pain, you have excruciating. But it's all just this feeling that you feel from putting a load on a fragile system. You with me?
I'm with you. I think they are too. I'm getting hearts coming up. So we're following.
The thing is, people don't understand that anxiety is the same structure. It's a body system. People have been approaching it psychologically and getting all these different names: fight or flight, panic, fear, anxiety. It has all these different names, and people think it's all different things. But if you look at the body metaphor, what if it's not? If you have a root canal and your teeth are fragile, and when you push on your teeth, depending on how hard the thing is and the pressure you put, you'll feel different levels of discomfort. Nobody that needs a root canal bites into a carrot and says, oh, do I have carrot pain disorder? Or when they bite into a banana, they don't say, okay, so is that banana pain disorder, or do I have, is my carrot more like a pain panic loop? Do you see what I'm saying? It's not different things. It's just different levels of the same thing based on what's going on. Make sense?
So in answer to her question, will it help the fight or flight symptoms, is we may be asking the wrong question.
Yes, but I would hate for someone to ask something and I use the word wrong. But yes, a question that has some confusions embedded in it.
Well, oftentimes I found that if I clarify the question better, and you know this as an engineer and scientists know this, if I clarify the question better, then I will get an answer that really suits the problem. But sometimes I'm way off on the question I'm even asking.
So I love what you did. I love what you did.
I deserve or I want, because I haven't asked the question in a way that really fits what the problem is.
Oh, no. I love the question, and I get the value in what you did. For me personally, I like to use, instead of words like wrong, I like to say like a more educated, a more knowledgeable question. That's just me, but I love what you're going for.
You have so much better person-positive language. Bow to the divinity in you there, Daniel.
Well, anyway, let's not get, but yes. So fight or flight is just the most extreme feeling of fear. Just like if you bite into a hard candy hard, you're going to go, oh my gosh. It's the highest level. So fight or flight is just the highest level of your fragile system releasing pain and discomfort. It's not a different thing. Now, to answer your question, though, because a friend of mine said, do you ever notice that people ask questions and they go on and on and on? They never answer the question. So to answer your question, yes, absolutely. At fight or flight, I experienced it a ton. Remember, I was in a fetal position. I couldn't leave my house in fight or flight over the tiniest thing. But what we saw is the fight or flight, the anxiety, the social anxiety, the overwhelm. It was all just different names of one core thing, which is my nervous system was failed and was very fragile. And I want you to know this. The reason our process has a 90% success rate is because we figured this out. Because people will say, well, wait a minute, how can one thing work for so many people with so many different things? Because we figured out there's not so many different things. Just like if you have a root canal, you don't have like 20 different types of pain. You have a fragile system that's being activated by different situations, and you may give it different names. But also, the fact that we have a 90% success rate is because we've been testing this with people from different situations, different cultures, different levels of anxiety, and we optimize the system to make sure it'll work for everybody. And that's a revolutionary concept. So to you out there, sometimes it feels like your situation is unfixable or you're broken. And I want to just let you know, I get why you might feel that way, but I am telling you, the reason we can back up our results and only charge you at the end when it works, I am telling you, no matter what type of anxiety you have, no matter how long you've had it, no matter how you feel it, no matter your past, gender, age, faith, I am telling you, if you are from this planet and you breathe oxygen and have a nervous system, we can help you. And again, you probably don't believe me, so go and listen to the free training because it's going to give you an experience to help this make sense.
Absolutely. There's a couple other places you can go listen to Daniel as well. The Sober on Purpose podcast. 2 weeks ago, I believe, Daniel, you'll find it. Just go to Sober on Purpose. There's one for Daniel Packard. He really explains in depth the whole system, and you get all this energy and all this positivity. So it's a great thing to be listening to this time of year as well. And then he is also a bonus speaker on the on the Blessed Family Recovery Summit. And that puts in so many positive opportunities for you during the season. Go find that. The Blessed Family Recovery Summit is out there. Love to have you join that. And we're going to continue bringing this. So just as a sneak preview, you have something special for us a week from now, which is the Friday right before the major Christian holiday. What is your just a sneak peek at what we're going to do next Friday, because you want to practice something. I'm going to be the guinea pig. You want to practice something, and we want all of y'all to show up. And what I found is, even though you're going to hear my voice as the guinea pig, if you play along, you will get a lot out of it too. So give us a little sneak peek at what's going to happen next Friday.
Thank you for the setup. And also, yes, you and I had a little MC excitement activation talk about a week ago where we talked about your incredible summit and all the incredible speakers. So I got to hear firsthand the cornucopia, the Santa's gift bag of healing awesomeness that is this summit. And I was not only blown away, but really grateful for this collection of people that you brought together. So I do want to really stop and just honor and appreciate this summit, because it's something special and it'll help a lot of people. So thank you for doing that.
And then what are we doing next Friday? Because we have another segment next Friday. So give us a little sneak peek.
We're just going to go from the theoretical. Right now I'm talking about the theory. It's not the mind, it's in the body. It's a nervous system issue, and that's good news because we know how to repair systems. And the value in that is you can realize there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, and this is solvable. But we're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper because knowledge and theory is great, but people want to have an experience of things. And I'm somebody who likes results. And it's great to talk about this and give people knowledge. People need results that they can feel. And I'm going to say something that could be unpopular. This is somebody who spent a lot of money learning about spiritual knowledge, psychological knowledge, therapeutic knowledge. When you're in pain and you want to solve something, knowledge is overrated. If the knowledge gets the job done, terrific, great. If your car is out of gas and someone says your car's out of gas, that's great knowledge. You go to the gas station, put the gas in, your car's running. Every now and then, knowledge is all you need. But when it comes to anxiety, people know a ton about their anxiety, and they're just learning and always peeling back layers of the onion. But what are they not doing? Actually getting real results that they can feel that are permanent. And for that, we need to go deeper. So we're going to go deeper, and I'm going to teach you some things so that you can really feel not only the problem, but also the solution. And so, yeah, I'm going to be sharing it to Tanya, but the way I teach is as I'm talking to one person, I'm talking to many. So many of you will get the experience of having almost like a one-on-one with me. And because it's holiday, what are we going to charge, Tanya?
$0, $0, $0.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
All right. So DanielPackard.com. Go get his free Christmas present training over there. And then the Blessed Family Recovery Summit, we ran it live last week, but it's in full recording. And there are bonuses galore, over $700 worth of bonuses, all kinds of things that are going to make your life so much better. And having some downtime over the holiday season, there is a private podcast. So you can be doing dishes, you can be wrapping presents, you can be walking the dog, you can be doing all these things that we know need to get done and still listening to it. I can guarantee we have a section for how to be a loving mirror. We have a section for your emotions. We talk about emotional detox, about overwhelm, about shame. Man, that's a hard one, but often crops up. And then I have a whole section. This is the one that I'm super proud of what to say to the kids, how to talk about addiction in the family with the kids, and that this is something that you can do with kindness and science rather than mythology, nagging, badgering, and shooting guns off in the backyard, which I am guilty of. So you're going to get in there. You're going to hear all these stories. BlessedFamilyRecoverySummit.com. Get that replay, get the private podcast. And it really is less than what you'd take the family out for Christmas dinner. A lot less. So looking forward to it. Remember, we're going on like our third segment with Daniel, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. We're talking about doing a regular show where we're going to play back and forth, answer your questions, really have a great time, and share things with you. So our mission, Daniel's mission, is really to give this to people because we want a community that understands themselves and knows how to process this, because we want to be able to celebrate you and appreciate you. And sell appreciation is that new word you can use with your family that Daniel created. And that is the next step so that you can hang on to yourself and really enjoy your holidays. Why spend 50 years being miserable going, oh, do we really have to go? So Daniel, you get the last word. Tell us where we can find you one more time.
Well, again, as you know, I'm an engineer. I like things simple. So this training that I've developed for them, people always say we should charge for it, but I want people to feel it for themselves. So I made it simple. I made it free. And I like simple. My name's Daniel Packard. So what's my website, Tanya?
DanielPackard.com.
And I invite you all to here to not just stop at knowledge. I'm sure you were listening to this being like, my God, Daniel is so charismatic. Where did he get his animal-like magnetism? He's so wise. Yeah, I understand you feel that way. I can't help it. It's a gift. And he's so smart what he said, but don't stop at knowledge. You deserve to be happy. You deserve results. You deserve freedom. That's what Tanya and I are about. So if you're tired of just learning and managing, and you want to be free, please take action. As they always say, put that oxygen mask on first, especially around the holiday seasons where you tend to overgive and end up crash, and then you're useless to everyone. So please break that cycle. Find out how to be free of this so you can show up fully Christmas time, New Year's for yourself, your family, your kids, and your partner. Why? Because it's Christmas and
Santa would want it. Go to danielpackard.com. Ho, 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 ho.
Be sure and join us next week, 8 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're in the UK, what are we, like 3 p.m. or something like that? So we are broadcasting around the world. Be sure and join us. We will have more for you there and the experiential stuff. So looking forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Ho, ho, ho.